You were born in Leicester in the
Yes,
United Kingdom, which is a very strong Muslim community. You are now based, of course, in Medina, in Saudi Arabia. How would you respond to those who will say that you have been radicalized? You are one of those who would have come from the West, well, disenfranchised, disinterested, and basically you have become radicalized, hence your appearance, your manner, and all of that sort of thing.
Well, if you look at my history, then I was born and educated in England, and then I left to go and study in India. So before I went to Saudi Arabia, I actually took a lot of my elementary and my fundamental studies in India. And then from India, I returned back to England, finished my education, and then traveled to Saudi Arabia. But if you look at Saudi Arabia, a lot of people do not know this, but the most active, you can say, efforts that have been made against terrorism and radicalization have been in Saudi Arabia and in the Islamic University of Medina. And when there was an international conference that took place about 4 or 5 years ago, which was chaired and sponsored by the late Crown Prince, Prince Naif Ibn Abdulaziz, Naif the son of Abdulaziz, who basically sponsored this conference, where an international conference took place in the Islamic University of Medina. Scholars from all over the world were invited, and they were given tasks to write a certain thesis, which were presented, and an encyclopedia was produced of over 14 to 15 volumes just on the subject titled Terrorism and Islam, where the outcome and the result of all the scholars unanimously and in consensus was that Islam, radicalization and terrorism have nothing in common. And this was proven from past history till now. And all the arguments that were presented, I believe that the Islamic University are trying to get some of these theses translated into the English language. So this shows that radicalization or being terrorism and Islam have nothing in common, because one of the fundamental ayats that you can find in the Quran, which is the book of the Muslims, where Allah says, La ikraha fi din, there is no compulsion in the religion. And we also find